Hello everybody, it's Juliet here. Today I'm doing a remake of a video that I made about 4 years ago, and the quality wasn't great and people have asked me, can you remake it please? So here I am, I'm remaking it for you. This is a new and updated version of the Santa hat, the little beaded Santa hat earrings. So the materials that you're going to need, if you're not already familiar with this project, you're going to need, per Santa hat, you're going to need 7 6mm pearls. So 6 to go around the base and 1 for the Santa hat bobble. You're going to need, per earring, 1 15-0 that matches your pearl, or that you're not really going to notice. And then you're just going to need some 11-0s in red, and I'm using Toho silver lined red. And you could use Miyuki or even just cheaper beads. It doesn't really matter that much for this project. You'll need a jump ring and an earring finding if you want to make it into a jump ring. And I'm using Fireline in the 6-pound crystal. You could use 8 if you wanted to use 8, that's fine. And obviously you'll need your beading needle, something to cut, and some pliers, and your beading mat. So let's get started. I have already put on about 2 feet of Fireline. This will probably be a little bit too much, but it's better to have a little bit extra at the end. And I'm just leaving about a 4-inch tail. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pick up our 6 6mm pearls. These are Swarovski ones, but you can just use any kind of pearl that you want for it, as long as they're 6mm. You could even use another stone like a cat's eye or something if it was a 6mm one. Okay. So you picked up your 6, and we're going to form a ring by sewing again through the first pearl. Now we're going to pick up 7 of our seed beads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7 seed beads. And we're going to, I'm coming out of this side of this pearl. I'm going to go into the opposite side of the same pearl. So just going to make a little loop-de-loop around. Okay, just like that. Little loop over the top of it. Then we're going to move onward through the next pearl. And we're going to pick up 6 this time. So you've got 6. And we're going to go down through the last seed bead right here. And then we're going to go through the pearl and through the next pearl. So through the pearl that we just looped over and through the next pearl. We're going to keep going around picking up 6 and making a little bridge over each pearl, going into the last. Come on, here we go. So 6 into this pearl, of this seed bead, into the pearl. And you can just give your tail a tug if it starts kind of loosening up like that, and into the next pearl. 6 again. while we're doing this, I'm just going to quickly mention, I've seen some threads on website or Facebook sites, Facebook groups about copyright. A lot of people don't really understand copyright. Most designers that do YouTube videos are happy for you to make their projects. Most of them, like me, have an angel policy where I say it's fine if you want to sell the project. Okay, right here I'm on my last one. I'm going to go up through the first seed bead that we added, and then we're only going to pick up 5 this time. Yeah, so most have like an angel policy, which means you can make the product, you can give it to your friends, and you can make it for your personal use. I say it's okay if you sell it as well, as long as you make it by hand. You're not going into mass production and making like hundreds of them, and as long as you give credit to the designer. Okay, so I'm just going to move, because I'm where my tail is right now. Let's pull the tail through. Okay, and then I'm just going to move away, so I'm going to go through the very next pearl just to get away from the tail. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to go up this seed bead, and we're going to go up the next 3 seed beads. So we're coming out of the 4th group of 7 that's going over this hump here. And we're going to pick up 3 of our 11 seed beads. So 3. And we're going to count from this one. The bottom one is number 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go into the 4th seed bead. And we're going to do this all the way around. We're just going to pick up 3 more. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to just jump across just like that. Okay, so we're just going to go all the way around doing that. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. Not everybody has the same copyright rules as I do. So it's best to actually go and look at like their website or look in the comments and see what they say. And even if you're using somebody's pattern that's given permission or they don't mind, it's just manners. It's manners to give credit if you're selling online and say, you know, based on a design by blah, 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 or a design by, so in my case, you'd say designed by Juliet Erskine or by Jules and Rose. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going into the 4th one. However, if you buy a pattern, usually it's for personal use. It'll say, the designer will say if you can make it and sell it, but usually it's just for personal use, which means you can't give it to anybody. The pattern, that is, you can't share the pattern online or anything like that. You also cannot sell the product. It's made for you or for you to make and give to a friend. And then I've seen people also talking about things like making, you know, a Mickey Mouse thing. You can't do that either. Mickey Mouse is copyrighted. Okay, so I've reached the end, and now I'm going to go through the next 2 that we just added in the last round. Okay, so I'm just going up the next 2. Disney in particular, we're going to pick up, 3 seed beads, and we're going to go into the middle of the next group, so the second one of this group of 3. So basically we're just doing netting here. So you're just going to go into the second one of the group of 3. We're going to go all the way around doing that with 3 again. Yeah, Disney in particular are very, very fussy about copyright, but things like sports teams, logos, any kind of characters from TV shows, you cannot do that. You cannot make your own thing. Even if you've made up the knitting pattern or the, the bead pattern, that's a copyrighted character. In fact, even if you go to Michael's and you see some branded Minnie Mouse ribbon and you buy it and it's, been passed for copyright or whatever, you can't make a bow for a little girl and sell that on Etsy. You can't sell that on. That's made for end use. So really, it's much better to be safe than sorry about these things, guys. If you don't know if you can sell it, don't, okay? And if you can sell it, please just credit the designer because that's all we want, okay? All right, so I'm in my last one here, so I have to go first into the middle there. Whoops. And then I have to step up. So I'm going to go up the next 2 of the last round we did. So we've now done our base 1 round, 2 round. We're going to do 1 more round with 3. That's the end of my lecture about copyright. Okay. So again, we're doing exactly the same as we did on the last round. We're picking up 3 and we're going into the middle bead in the group. And then that will be our 3rd round of 3s. And then I'll show you what we're going to do next. These are so much fun to make. I love it. They're so quick and they're so cute. I hope that you're all ready for the holidays. Hopefully none of you are watching this video in June of next year saying, what are you talking about? I'm not ready for the holidays. Okay, so we've now done 1, 2, 3 groups of 3. We're going to go up to the middle 1, so through the next 2, just like that. And now we're going to do a round with 2 where we only pick up 2. So 2 seed beads. And we're going to go again into the middle of the next grouping. This is going to start to pull our Santa hat in a little bit in the middle. See how it's like starting to curve inwards there? This is the point where I always think, oh no, I haven't got enough thread, but then I always make it, so. Because we're nearly at the end. Always amazes me how much thread there actually is in these tiny little beaded things. Like you wouldn't think there could be, a meter of thread or 4 feet of thread in like a little earring, but quite often there is. It's crazy. Get in there. There we go. Okay. Oh, right, we're back at the last one. Okay, so that was the last middle. So I've already done these two. Okay, so I'm just going to travel up the first bead of the group of 2. Now I'm going to pick up 3 beads. So 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to look. My next group of 2 is right here, so I'm going to go into the second bead. I'm going to skip. So I'm basically skipping this bead, and this bead, and I'm going into the second bead of the next group of 2. And then I'm going to skip this lower down bead, and I'm going to go into the first bead of the next group of 2. Okay. Then again, I'm going to pick up 3. So I'm going to skip 3 beads. So I'm skipping the second group, the second one in the group of 2, the lower one, and the first one in the next group of 2. So I'm going into the second bead of this group of 2. And then I'm going to skip this lower down bead and go into the first of the next group of 2. Now I'm going to pick up 3 more. This is the bit that people found very tricky on my last video because I went off screen. Okay, so again, we're going to skip the second bead here, the base bead here, and the first bead here, and we're going to go into the second bead of this group of 2. And then we're going to skip the base bead, and we're going to go into the next bead over. And now, just drop my needle. Now this is the group of 3 we just added, so I'm going to go up to the second bead of the group of 3. So I'm coming out of the middle bead of the group of 3. So 1, 2, 3, I'm coming out the middle bead. I'm going to pick up 1 seed bead, and I'm going to find the next group of 3, which is right here. I'm going to go into the middle bead and the middle bead only. Then I'm going to find the next, I'm going to pick up 1, and I'm going to find the next middle bead, which is right here on the next group of 3, and pick up 1 more seed bead and go into, this is the group of 3, so I'm going into the second bead. And that has closed up the top. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run around again just to reinforce it a bit. Pull it in nice and tight. And when I'm coming out from one of the ones on the group of 3, so not the singles that we've added, but one of the ones on the group of 3, I'm going to pick up 1 seed bead, the pearl, and 1 15-0. Okay. Then I'm going to go back through the pearl, just the pearl, and that 15-0 is going to keep it on. I'm going to pick up 1 more seed bead. So here we've come out from this, you have like a triangle on the top here, so we've come out from this one. We're going to not go into this middle, but we're going to go into the next bead over, like the corner there. Okay, and just pull that, and that's made your little Santa's. This kind of makes it look like his hat's like tipping over to the side. And that's the top. So now all we have to do is tie off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move forward here, and I'm just going to work my way down the netting following the bead path. Okay, I'm just going to tie a knot right here. So you just pass through the netting to make a loop, and then I'm just going to stab my tail through the loop and pull that and make a little knot right there. And then I'm going to make my way down. Might tie another knot right here. So I'm just pushing the tail of my needle down. Why are you caught over there? There we go. And then pulling the end. And it's not working. Okay. I've made a big mess here. Hang on. Let's come back out. Okay. Try again. There we go. That was much better. Okay. Now I'm just going to move forward through this purl, and there's my tail. So I'm going to just tie these two ends together with a square knot. So right over left, left over right. Okay, and then all I have to do is go forward in both directions. So I'll bring this tail through this purl here. I'll bring the other tail through the opposite purl. See if I can thread this on without my light on. Wait, that's not even the end. Where is it? There it is. I have not been having very good luck with threading my needle today. So here's a little tip. If you can't get it to thread, if you squeeze it with your pliers so it's nice and flat, it usually helps a lot. To get it in. Okay. So move away from the knot. And then I can just cut both of these. And then to attach the ear wire, where I attach it, if you look at this one, is I attach through like the front so that it hangs to the side. So I like to do it so it's like opposite, so one will be hanging this way and one will be hanging that way. So we get our jump ring. And first I make sure it lines up. Just give it a little wiggle to firm up the middle. So it's the top hole. If you go in the hole at the top of the thing and down the front, just like I've done there. And I want it to hang with that out, so I have to put my ear wire on this way, I believe. Hopefully that's right. And then just wiggle that into place. And I like to turn the join into the beadwork so you can't see it. Let's see if I did that the right way. Hopefully I did. Yes, I did. Yay! So there you go. There's little Santa hat earrings, and they're so fun to make, nice and quick. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you again soon. Bye!